What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Creatia Conversation. We take you back in time and do some throwback movie reviews. I'm your host, Lord Customer Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I'm joined once again this week by my co-host, Mara, the motherfucking Shark Watkins. How you doing, Mara?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. It's good to see you again.
Matt's missing in action.
Yeah. Not sure where he's at, but hopefully we'll get a hold of him soon and everything is all right. But
I'm sure he's good.
until we got clarification on that, what you been up to? What you been watching? What you been playing?
Let's see. So a new season of Fortnite has started, and I look forward on getting in on that.
Mm-hmm.
I started a show that I thought I would never watch, but I wanted a new show to talk about with my friend Logan. So, well, you know Logan. So I started Love Island.
Intentionally?
Yes. Or as Chris calls it, Whore Island.
I was watching, it was a clip or something from a podcast. Forgot his name. But the podcast is called My Mama Told Me. And he was talking about Love Island. And he was just like, we need to do something about them and how they keep putting these highly attractive special needs people on this show because it's what's happening. Like this show is hot love on the spectrum. Like that is what this show is.
Not sexy love on the spectrum.
Yes.
It's interesting. So I just got through episode 5, I think, and they finally had an elimination on top of at least 2 bombshell dudes and 1 bombshell girl come in, but apparently 2 girls and a guy are about to show up. And
bombshell.
So when they start, there's an even amount of guys and girls. They start choosing some couplings, and then they let them secretly choose if they want to stay in that coupling or if they want to explore other options in like a second episode or so. And when they're choosing, they sent in this guy and this girl who they call bombshells because, like, obviously the original people didn't know that these 2 people were coming. And so everyone's standing, like the boys are on one side of this door and the girls are on another side of the door. And they each have to either step on a green dot, which means you're going to stay in your coupling. And then there's a red dot, or the red dot, which means you want to explore. So everyone made their decisions, and before they revealed like who chose what, they send in like this guy and this girl who are unexpected, and they take off. So the guy takes the girls. There was 2 girls who I think stood on a red dot. He took them off screen or off stage somewhere, and the girl took the 2 guys who also were standing on a red dot off stage somewhere after, you know, making out with both people. And then they open the doors to, or they have each other open the doors to realize if their person was still there, or if the person that they were choosing to stay coupled with had also chosen them as well. It got messy. So
clearly,
this one dude, his girl left with the bombshell dude, some Brazilian guy named Gabriel, who who, as I told Logan, the more they kept showing him, I was like, the more unattractive he got. And so this other, like, he took like this girl away from a guy who was standing on a green dot who was hoping that she was going to choose him too. So he was left single and vulnerable. And like the one white girl, her dude left with the bombshell girl, and she was opting to stay coupled up with him, but she was conflicted because he had told her she wasn't his type. And so she was left single and vulnerable. And then the two that were left single started seemed like they were gonna couple up, and then another bombshell dude came in at some point, and he was actually able to choose who he, when they did a recoupling part. It's like think like Survivor when they have to go to like the campfire thing and they get voted off the island and such. It's like that. And so unbeknownst to everyone else, this bombshell dude is given first choice on girls who he wants to pick, and he can either pluck a girl from who's already in a coupling, or he, can choose the single white girl. And he ended up choosing the single white girl, but we thought she was going to choose Sean. But then she said, while I felt a connection to Sean, who was the other single guy, I was going to choose the bombshell dude who came in. His name is Corbin. So it's just getting messy. I see why people tune into this.
I need to find this clip and send it to you because it's funny as hell. My mama told me.
But other than watching Love Island, Chris and I finished season 2 of Your Friends and Neighbors. That was interesting. I can't wait for season 3, whenever that is.
Found it. I just sent it to you.
Okay. Season 3 probably will come out next year. And have I watched anything else? I think that's been it besides Bar Rescue. I think that's all I've been watching is just Love Island. Playing still The Sims. I just finished a build I was working on, and that's about it.
Okay. Not much new for me. There was still some more Summer Game Fest stuff happening since last time we had the show. So I was watching more of that. More games were revealed and all that kind of stuff. Trying to think if there was anything in particular that stood out that I'm like, oh, hell yeah, give me that now. Nothing new that I didn't already know about. We know Fable's coming out in February now, so that's good. I'm all in on that. Yeah.
I forgot. I watched the Knicks whoop that ass in a surprising
that comeback.
Comeback in yesterday's game.
Yeah.
He's about to burn this city down to the ground. I can tell. I can feel it.
Look. I need to talk to you about your people. Because I also have seen other disturbing things that your city has been doing. Like, why they out here just jumping random people just because they're wearing a Spurs jersey in the street? Like, what the fuck?
I heard about that. I don't know anything about that.
Of course you don't. That's exactly
I know
what they do say when they just whoop somebody else because they was wearing a Spurs jersey. I don't know nothing about it. Or my cousin doing that, or me being there and getting it on video and laughing while it happened.
Murder? What murder? He's the greatest guy alive.
Exactly. So yeah, tell your people to get their shit together. Because they're up 3-1, and there's no way the Spurs are coming back from being down 3-1.
Yeah, Saturday's gonna be crazy. I think the Puerto Rican Day Parade's like the next day, so it's about to be insane in the city.
That's assuming that that's the game that they win. They'll. I think San Antonio is going to win that first game back in San Antonio. But we'll see. But yeah, not much new for me. Like I said, with Summer Game Fest happening, Fable looks like it's going to be great. They put out a whole 30-minute gameplay video that's not even like the RPG stuff. It's just the random shit you can do around the town and everything, which is pretty fucking dope. Where it's just like you can like buy businesses and buy a house and run the business and hire everybody in the town, or you just run into somebody that's in the town like, hey, help me with this one thing because I'm arguing with this kid about slaughtering this pig, but for some reason the pig can talk and everybody loves this pig and we can't eat this pig. They're like, we hungry, and there's a whole thing happening here.
Don't eat me.
Yeah. Gears of War looks awesome, but it's Xbox only. I can play it on PC, but
Who gets to do that?
Final Fantasy VII Revelation, the third Final Fantasy VII game, that's coming out next year, so good on that. Finally got a trailer for that. You'll probably be interested in this, I believe. Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer for that dropped too. I don't know if you are a Kingdom Hearts person or not.
I've played it.
He's alive.
Who we found?
Hi guys.
Damn it! Now my tweet don't make sense. Well, it does. Now I gotta tag you in a separate one.
No, you don't. Just the show's already started. Don't even worry about it.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Travis.
We found Matt. You just missed the baby.
Oh.
Also, though, I did start watching Maiden Season on Netflix. Been pretty funny so far. Maiden Season, it's the basically it's Big Mouth with animals. It's the only new things. Yeah, that's about it.
Sure, I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. Well, you're just in time, Matt. Tell us what you've been watching and playing.
I just finished Super Mario Galaxy.
How was that?
It was good. Yeah, so I knew today was Thursday, but I forgot today was Thursday, and I bumped up daddy-daughter movie night, so I put my phone away to watch the movie with Zoe, and then the movie ended, and I looked at my phone, and I saw this call from Travis, and I was like, fuck. So, yeah.
Well, it's a shame that we're not reviewing that today.
I started watching The Burrows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On Netflix. I got through 2, maybe 3 episodes. Or
how you feeling about it?
Through. Interested. I don't know. It hasn't hooked me like Stranger Things hooked me like early on, but I'm interested. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested. Playing has just been Pokemon.
Have you seen the peach yet?
Yeah, yes, I saw the guy eat the peach, and that was the end of the last thing that I saw.
Okay.
That was the last thing I saw was dude found the tree, ate the peach, and then it went to black.
Okay.
So,
so you don't even know what happened after you ate the peach. Okay.
No.
To catch up.
I finished something. Oh, I finished the show Easy that I was watching. And I'm going to go see Backrooms tomorrow, so.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, I watched Dracula Untold for no reason whatsoever.
No reason at all, huh?
Oh, no. Okay.
Put that on my list.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. If you're not watching us live, know that you can watch us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/CreatiaWorld. Also, if you're there, we'd appreciate you subscribing. You can actually, subscribe for free. Normally it costs you some money, but you can actually do it for free with Prime Gaming. Well, what's Prime Gaming? I'm glad you asked. What you do is you take your Amazon Prime account, your Twitch account, put them together, Fusion that forms Prime Gaming. You do that, you get a free subscription every month. You also get a bunch of other free perks and shit. So that's awesome. You can only do it once, for one person per month, one channel per month. We want you to give it to us. You got to re-up it every month. And I trust that all y'all who do subscribe have re-upped for this month. If you have not, should go ahead and do that like right this minute because it
Hot
don't cost
tip.
you nothing. Do it. Everybody.
Only cost you like 30 seconds of your time.
Exactly. Now, you can also watch us live on YouTube at youtube.com/creationworld. And if you do that, you can subscribe there for free. You know, you just got to hit the subscribe button. Nothing special you got to do there at all. Just subscribe. But right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. And hanging from that bell is a little bean. And what I want you to do is flick that bean. Do that, you get notified every time we go live, every time we drop a new video, all that good shit. But
Zoe,
it's time for us to do what we came here to do. We watched a movie this week, as we do every week. What movie did we watch this week?
Well, you're not wrong. We watched Dracula Untold from 2014.
Indeed. So this week's Throwback Thursday review is Dracula Untold. Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. One second.
While she's doing what she's doing, I had an issue with the fact that there were no Transylvanian accents in a movie about fucking Dracula. At Castle Dracula in Transylvania.
What does a Transylvanian accent sound like?
I want to suck your blood. Like the fucking Dracula accent that everyone has done for fucking eternity.
So is that a
like
Transylvania accent or is that a Dracula accent?
I feel
It's
like
a
people in
Transylvanian
Romania
accent.
are probably a little bit perturbed by what you say.
I've never been to Transylvania, so I don't know what their accent sounds like. But yeah,
I'm just saying there's an accent that goes along with the characters in the universe from Transylvania that sound a certain way, and not what bro was British. He didn't even try.
Who Dominic Cooper's character?
Yeah, Vlad.
Oh,
Vlad
no,
the
that's Luke
Impaler.
Evans. Yeah.
Yes. I do like that we use the Vlad the Impaler storyline. I will say my favorite Dracula.
hold on, Matt. We haven't gotten to that yet. Let's
sorry.
let Mar do what she's supposed to do to introduce the movie.
All right. So we got some facts about the movie. Since we were mentioning names of people, we have a cast that consisted of Luke Evans as Vlad the Impaler. You might know him from the Hobbit series, Fast and the Furious 6 through 8. He played Owen Shaw, and he was also in Clash of the Titans. We have Dominic Cooper, who is our Howard Stark of the MCU, or young Howard Stark, I should say, of the MCU. Sarah Gadon, or Gadon, I'm not sure how you say that, but I don't really know her, but apparently she's known for being in Are You Afraid of the Dark? And that one mini series that James Franco did, 11/22/63. There's Charles Dance, who we all know as Tywin of Game of Thrones. And then we have Art Parkinson, who's also Rickon from Game of Thrones.
So this movie had a few people that I'm like, oh, I know that white dude. Most of the time, I was like, I don't know where I know that white dude from, but like I've seen that white dude somewhere. Now Tywin, I knew him. That's Tywin Lannister. Rickon, it took me a minute.
I literally have a note right here that says, Tywin, is that you? From like when we first saw him as the vampire?
Yeah. Rickon was what it took me a minute to figure out who he was. But the others, but
That's
Tywin, like, I know you.
That's the Stark that wouldn't zig when he should have zagged, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even notice he was in this.
That was the kid.
You said it, and I was like, really?
Yeah, that was Vlad's kid.
Oh, shit. Well,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
His hair is
Did
a
not cross
little
my
bit.
mind at all.
His hair is a little bit different, but that face. Once I saw that was in his filmography, I was like, right, that is him.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, Rickon was the Stark I cared about the least.
And then he
throughout
showed
the
up again at the
entire
end
show.
just so that he could
Just
get
so that-
killed.
So every person who's ever probably also watched a contact sport and was like, "What the fuck, bro? Zig."
Like serpentine, nigga, run a post route. What the fuck?
So this was based on Dracula Year One by Matt Sazama and also Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is Gary Shore's debut feature film. It was also one of two. Don't know why, but whatever. A fun fact about this movie: Charles Dance, who plays the master vampire in the movie, passed the time in his makeup chair by sleeping through his vampire makeup application,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would startle himself when he woke up, though.
I'm so startled.
This is the first big budget solo Dracula film produced by Hollywood to be released theatrically since Dracula 2000. It surpassed Dracula 1992 as highest grossing Dracula movie worldwide. However, Bram Stoker's Dracula remains the highest grossing domestically. Sam Worthington, who you might know from Avatar, was originally slated to star, and it was titled Dracula Year Zero before they ended up, just going with Luke Evans. Charlie Cox was cast in an undisclosed role, but his part was cut from the final film. Don't know why, but we might have been exposed to Daredevil earlier than we might have known.
You know, Daredevil's blind, and you know, Dracula is vampires, and vampires are bats. You know, blind is a bat. I see the connection.
So, also, 1 week before the film's release, tabloids reported that reshoots took place shortly after the end of production to tie the film into a planned cinematic universe, which you might have known as the Dark Universe. A representative from Universal later denied that Dracula Untold was meant to start any sort of universe. A producer from the movie had hoped that Evans' character might have a cameo in the fated 2017 The Mummy film, and also spoke of a potential sequel to Dracula Untold to reboot the franchise. The director commented that the film was optional for Universal to use as a launching pad, but after the release of Dracula Untold, the connections to the shared universe were completely downplayed, and The Mummy was repositioned as the first film. However, because that was a fucking failure of a film, Universal had decided to return to standalone features instead of
failure.
Decided
failure
was a failure.
What makes it a failure, Mara?
I think it did poorly box office, and a lot of people did not like it.
I mean, I didn't see it either. I'm just, you know.
I've watched it a couple times. It's not horrible, but when you're going in, I guess after seeing, the amazing Brendan Fraser's versions of The Mummy, it's kind of really hard to kind of do
But
that one.
Tom Cruise.
I don't know. But
I think that was the problem, was like Dracula Untold at the time had lesser known or like background side characters, not like a main focus character. Same thing with I, Frankenstein. It had famous people, but like they weren't extremely famous people. And then they do The Mummy and they bring in fucking Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
It's no longer a Mummy movie, it's a Tom Cruise movie. Yeah, I get
exactly.
And his portrayal of the main character just wasn't doing it, on top of
that's why Tom Cruise couldn't play Tony Stark. It's same shit. Yeah, I get you.
The weird connection that they gave him to the Mummy girl, it was like, what in the fuck are we doing? Not bad. It's just like, that's something that could be like a whole separate story. But either way. So that ended the Dark Universe, and it's like one of the few things I will not forgive Tom Cruise for. There's a short list.
I wouldn't forgive Tom Cruise for.
Yeah. Those are my trivia facts about it.
Mm-hmm.
Overall thoughts.
This was a fun watch. It wasn't what I was expecting it to be. I don't know what I was expecting it to be, but it wasn't this. This had a lot of those moments that I would talk about a lot when we were doing Creatia Comics and Super Flashy Arrow Tomorrow. The way people talk to certain people, it's just like why you act like you don't know? Because there's certain people like I said, Super Flashy or like Creatia Comics. There were certain people when they would talk to Superman, I'd be like, he could fuck you up, but they don't know that he's Superman, so I'll forgive it. But the way that like his father-in-law talked to him was just like, you realize I can end you, and you know this. Same with this movie, where there's certain people that know Vlad, and they know what Vlad is capable of, but they keep trying. And it's just like, well, he wouldn't, because clearly he would. Stop fucking with him.
I literally have a note here that says, you don't just stop being the Impaler.
Yeah. like the dude was like, he's like, you know who I am. He's like, I know what you used to be. I'm like, you are a bold motherfucker. But
I know it's been some years, but
yeah. I do. Well, I'll get to it when we get to other parts of our discussion. But yeah. Overall, I'm glad you picked this, Ramar.
I mainly picked this because I've only had seen it once, and I was interested in watching it again, and this kind of gave me more incentive to watch it again.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Matt? Your thoughts?
I have seen this before. I had only seen it the once. I am very torn about this movie. Like I said, I enjoy, because the rumor that Dracula was Vlad the Impaler, who was an actual person in fictional history, I've always thought was cool. However, my favorite idea of who Dracula is that it was Judas who became Dracula after betraying Jesus, which is why silver hurts him, because of the 30 pieces of silver and all of the different tie-ins that affect vampires. I don't know. I guess
lack of garlic bothers you too? Yeah, I know.
No, it's more so the
lack of
him
what?
not being
garlic.
The first vampire. Not really knowing who this other vampire was, and then never getting a sequel to find out
who that dude
betrayed Tywin.
Yeah, I want to know.
Made him a vampire.
Yeah,
I need to know where that was going, because he's like, I'm gonna call on him, and the way we end the movie, where they're at, he's like, and I'm like, okay, so cool.
Now
what's this war like? What are we doing?
Like
the sequel apparently was supposed to give more backstory about Master Vampire.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, that was a thing where I'm okay with him not being like, with Dracula not being the first vampire or anything like that. That's fine, because to me it was like, he's not the first, but he's the greatest. It's kind of like, that was how I saw it. But they did set up a whole lot with Tywin, and I'm like, I need to know who it was that betrayed you and who you went to go kill. And this whole thing later on where he's just like, yeah, you'll be mine after all this. And in the end, he's like, yeah, now it begins, or some shit like that. I'm like, what begins? What's happening now that we don't know? So like, they're setting up a sequel that we never got. And I hate when movies do that.
Also, dude, listen, these hoes in Transylvania cannot be trusted. They just kept turning their back on this motherfucker. Like, he went out there, put his entire family at risk to save your sons. He became a vampire to protect you. And the second you find out, you're going to burn the motherfucker alive?
I disagree. Yes. I disagree. He did it to save his son.
Yeah.
In the process, all of their sons. He could have just saved his son and still sent all of the other kids. But he said, nah.
No, he couldn't have. At that point, it was too late. They said, no, I'm taking your son. And it all started because he cut that dude's hands off because he was going to take his son. He didn't do it to save everybody else's kid. He was saving his own.
Also, fuck Mehmet. Just
Like it's one of those things. Like by doing that, he also went to save everybody else's sons too, which ended up not even mattering. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah. He's interesting.
well, and again, that was just the first time that they turned on him. But anyway, fuck Mamet. How you gonna grow up with this dude as your brother, and then all of a sudden just be like, I'm gonna do to your son what they did to you, and like fuck you and fuck our relationship and all of that.
I kind of get the feeling though through all that though he called him brother, but it was more of a mocking tone kind of thing where it was just like I feel like he actually
like Mufasa and Scar.
I feel like he treated him like I feel like he actually treated Vlad the way Theon convinced himself that the Starks treated him.
Yes.
Like that's what I think. So I don't think he really had a problem, I guess you say, betraying him and taking all their sons because he didn't respect him and give a fuck about him in the first place.
Yeah. Just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Did you think this was? But any faith moments before we hop into the plot?
I love that we stayed true to reality. Rich men always want boys.
Yeah. And he wanted 1,000 of them.
Vlad came and he's like, listen, I am worth 1,000 boys in a battle. And he's like, yeah, no, I just want the children because I'm rich. Yeah. And that's what all rich men want are children because you're disgusting. My favorite moment was when the soldier, like, they were coming for his kid and the soldiers just, again, to Travis's point, couldn't shut the fuck up and ran their mouth. And Vlad said, all right, let's go.
It was going to be fine. It was going to be fine. He had given them his son. He had accepted it. The kid said it was cool. It was all good. And he kept talking.
Yep.
Kept running his mouth. Should have just took your win and kept it going.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that turning point for Vlad where he just got sick of hearing them run their mouths and he's like, I'm just going to murder y'all now.
Like
I'm going to be the Impaler was my favorite part.
Yes.
All right.
Well, let's hop into the plot. I like to think that I kept it narrowed down enough, but enough that you guys would get the story. Or our viewers and listeners will get the story. Mm-hmm. So, Vlad the Impaler retires from his impaling lifestyle, returns to Transylvania. He thinks that it's years later now. He thinks that the Turks are getting ready to invade because they found like a helmet nearby that could be a scout's helmet, but it's got like 3 claw marks through it. So I don't know what they think that was about, but
I was wondering that too. Like, did y'all see the claw marks in the back of the helmet? Like, we just ignoring that?
I think the one dude saw it and he just decided I'm gonna shut the last dude who was holding the helmet before they moved along. Because it looked like he looked at it like, am I the only one who sees this?
Oh, also, I forgot old boy was in this because I saw it at the beginning during this scene. Old boy from Black Sails. He was also in The Boys.
I have his name.
I think
Zach
he was
McGowan.
I think he's Igor. That was my take.
Is that what he's supposed to? But thought Igor worked for Frankenstein.
Yes, well, kind of. But yes, because Igor works for Dracula in Van Helsing.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird. It's kind of like in the universe, Dracula commissions in certain aspects of it. Commissions Frankenstein to make the monster.
His name is Shkilgam, a mysterious Romani. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. But anywho, I'm pretty sure Igor was probably who he took the
inspiration.
Inspiration from. But they were like, you're not Igor, but channel him.
Yeah, but that did come to mind too when he first started when he was calling him master and all that kind of shit. I'm like, you sound like Igor. But anyway, go ahead.
So assuming that the scouting party might be at the mountain called Broken Tooth, they go there to get ahead of them.
Wonder why it's called Broken Tooth.
Bats fly out at them, and they're like, "That's weird," because bats are nocturnal, and it's daytime. They go exploring because white. Vlad realized that the Turks weren't there, and we see that something is detecting them by what I'm going to continue to call vampire sonar. His whole team, except for him, dead. He gets to go back home and back to Castle Dracula, which is, I guess, where he gets this name from, where he chooses his name or something like that. I forget where the name
Isn't
came
that a
from.
family name?
Maybe. I didn't fully hear. I know like the kid had said it in his initial narration.
He
but
was saying the world know him as Dracula, but I think his family's name, I think he said was like Dracula or something like that. That means of the dragon or some shit like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, because he's son of the dragon.
Yeah.
But the vampire said of the devil, and he corrected him instead of the dragon. And apparently, a dragon and a devil are just interchangeable.
That's
Depending on
propaganda.
interpretation.
It's probably because of his history of fucking impaling people. Vlad, let's say, oh yeah, so he goes back to Castle Dracula, and this monk dude called Brother Lucian tells him that they were attacked by a vampire, explains its lore, how it was once a man looking for power, got tricked by a demon who would grant him said power, but now he's trapped in the cave, so he can't come out of it. Apparently, Master Vampire was supposed to be revealed as Caligula, but again, that probably would have been more in the
Sequel.
Yeah. So it's now Easter, and they're all celebrating along with, it's been 10 years of peace since Vlad has returned from fighting with the Turks. Suddenly, Turks barge in and Vlad tells them that he's got the Sultan's money, or as they called it, tribute. Messenger hits back with, "Mad of our soldiers were just killed, and we think it was you." To which Vlad says, "Wasn't us. But
right,
take
your money. Here's your money. Go. Find your business."
Go. Homeboy decides to do a dramatic turnaround and says, "Oh, along with the tribute, the Sultan has demanded 1,000 of your boys, starting at age 14 and 15 to fight in Hungary, and 14 to prepare siege on Vienna, despite the fact that the Sultan said he was ending all that shit years ago." Vlad can't have that, so he goes to see the Sultan, because they're like bros back in the day, to see if he can plead to them not taking all their boys. He offers up himself, and Sultan Mehmed, played by Dominic Cooper, says, "Nah, and bring your son now too." His son's name Anguirus, but I'm probably just gonna start saying Rickon because that's easier to say.
Yeah, little Ricky.
Yeah, to be raised under him. To be raised under him, like Vlad was raised under Mehmed's
really appropriate
father.
The way he died too. Sorry.
I wonder if anyone made a video like that. Like
they should have if they did. If they don't, I might
do it
myself now that I think about it. But
missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's a little late. I don't know if anybody would really. Oh well.
Wifey Morena is her name. Is understandably upset by all of this, but she knows that like if they don't, it's gonna start a war. Holy moly. Too many words. So they try to, send him forward. Son's like, "I'll go." Vlad's like, "It's not on you to stop a whole war. It's not your fight." And so he ends up killing his men.
Yeah, there was a whole thing here where they were just like his wife was like, "You promised me that we wouldn't do this. When I married you, you promised me. You promised my family, blah blah blah." And he's like, "I ain't got no choice, woman. Like, what you want me to do?" And yeah,
it's gonna start a war.
Exactly what he did. That's exactly what she wanted him to do, and he did it.
Yeah, so he just like killed the men, and mind you, this is before the vampire power. So he lets out his inner impaler and kills the men because he's not having it. He goes back to the mountain, surprising Master Vampire that he came back, and he asks for his help. So he licks up Vlad's neck, because I'm not going to leave that out, because they definitely showed that whole tongue for I don't know what purposes.
Yeah,
And
that was unsettling.
He agrees to help him. He offers up some of his blood that will temporarily give him some of his powers, but it will give him intense thirst for blood. Tells him that if he resists feeding for 3 days, he'll turn back into a human. All will be good, like this never happened. But if he feeds, he'll turn into a vampire permanently. But then Master Vampire will be free to leave the cave.
There's also a true lack of information given here too, because he ain't telling him about the sunlight and the silver thing. I'm sure he'll figure it out pretty quickly, but he didn't tell him. Like,
he didn't tell him about the whole weather control thing. He did, like, I know he mentioned the thing of like he said silver was like perturbing him. Like,
well, he said when he saw that where the silver was shining or whatever, like, your silver offends me, like cloak it or something. But
I thought it was just like, bro, you just don't like silver, you a gold man. Like,
that's what I would have figured if I was him. But I know things about vampires, so I knew better. But like, Vlad don't know this. You ain't tell Vlad.
So I guess he thought it was implied with his original comment. So Vlad drinks and dies, and wakes up in the stream at night. His ring is burning him because it's silver. He's strong as fuck. He has super hearing, super vision, and the vampy sonar.
Breaking rocks and shit.
Like, unintentionally. He suddenly hears cannons in the direction of his castle, and in that same moment learns that he's super fast and that he can turn into a cluster of bats. Basically, it's like, oh, that's what's up. So now he has, I don't want to say teleportation, but he has like super transportation.
He's Batman.
Literally. Returns to the castle, and the people are really mad that they're being attacked because they're like, why are they doing this? He explains to them.
So I'm trying to figure out how long between him leaving to go and see the vampire dying and waking up, because his wife and son made it back to the castle, and at any point they could have been like, hey, so this is what happened, we should probably prepare ourselves for war, like they're going to be coming.
They got there quick though. Like, it almost made you feel like they was going to attack no matter what, because we don't really have, like, you couldn't have had time, one, to find out what happened to your people and then muster up your soldiers and get there before he got back like that night. Like,
we don't know. That's why I'm trying to figure out how long it was between when he died and when he woke up. Was it days or was it hours?
Well, he told him, like, once you do this, you got 3 days. So
I wouldn't say hours.
It couldn't even been a full day.
Yeah.
Like, I took that as he went there like midday, because that's when they came for probably Lil Rickon, late morning, early noon, so that they would have time to get back to their camp. And he went straight to the mountain after that, but it was still daytime. So, and when he woke up, it was practically like dusk going into nighttime. So I have to assume he was only dead for hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of timing in this movie too. That's kind of like, how is this happening so fast? How are you already there? Like, a lot of that is happening. Like, are y'all teleporting? Because how?
It's giving that the Turks were camped nearby, like not too far. The way he was just sending niggas willy-nilly just seemed like they have to be somewhere not too far away. Yeah, so he explains that, the Turks are going to attack and they wanted our sons. So I said, no, I'm not having that. Put my foot down. We're not taking it lying down. He steps out into the battlefield alone, mind you, and takes on all these Turk soldiers by himself, tearing through them like Superman. And the Turks probably think that they're tripping in their last final moments, because he's literally bursting into bats and just popping in and out all over the place. Because he's also single-handedly taking them all on, and he does. Which makes me wonder, who cleans all that up afterwards? Like, if this was just if their castle hadn't been hadn't been attacked at, like they didn't blow cannons all through, and they all were just staying, like, who stays and cleans that up?
Well, you remember in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms when they were kids and they were just like looting all the dead bodies that were rotting and shit. I don't think anyone really cleans that shit up. I think they just left it.
Yeah.
This is like right outside your castle, though. That's not going. I mean, semantics, but like I was like, that's not going to smell.
Well, they immediately left the castle to move on to a different castle because the castle was all blown the fuck up.
You also got to think like this is, back then. You just got to accept a lot of things smelled back then. Like it was perpetually funky.
You guys keep talking about the Turks because it was the Turks, but Travis, do you know what hearing Turks reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
5th grade, Mr. Ritter, Istanbul, not Constantinople. Mm-hmm.
You know I wasn't in your class, right?
Where? You weren't?
No. 5th grade, I was not in your class.
Damn.
6th grade, I was. 5th grade, I was not.
Damn. But yeah, I know that Istanbul, not Constantinople.
I know the song anyway, but it was...
That's what I keep thinking every time someone brings up Turks. It's like buried in my memory.
But yeah, so he comes back in. The cast, people at the castle are like, what the fuck? Vlad says, don't ask. Just know that I did that. They moved to a monastery. I don't remember what it was called. I think it was like Kasha or something like that. Somewhere where that cannon fire cannot reach. Sultan Mehmed learns of what's happened, and he sends 100,000 more soldiers. And he vows to have Vlad's head on a spear with his son by his side. I guess they stopped at some camp or something, like partially through on the way to the monastery, and they were attacked. But Vlad's also starting to feel that bloodlust because the men are eating, and all he hear is them smacking food, but also their hearts. Mm-hmm. He goes to his tent. His wifey starts to try to get all hot and heavy with him, and then suddenly
got her neck all out and everything. Just
starts suddenly feeling like
neck and clavicle, just all
I could just rip right into you right now. Mm-hmm. And then so he leaves the tent. Then he's approached by Dog Knott's character, who asks to serve him, indicating that he knows about him. He also offers up his blood. Vlad throws him up against a tree, telling him to stay away from him, to which he replies, "Yes, master." He resists drinking the blood that the Romani had in the cup. Then we see Mehmed has gone to the castle and finds his original castle Dracula, finds a remaining soldier alive enough to ask the Sultan if he enjoys the view, which we then see all of his men impaled on spikes. And where did they get all those spikes from?
From the men.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, I think most of them had a spear, so he impaled them on their own spears.
The next morning, Morena finds that Vlad's ring that's tied around his neck is actually burning him. She takes it off and see that his scars that I think he's had from time, and also the ones that he was gaining from the ring burning him.
Also, he got whipped all the time as a kid too, so he should have had like all kind of whip marks across his back, but he didn't.
Yeah, like he is looking A-okay. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, your scars are healed." He explains his condition to her and that he did this for them, which brought me to my overall thought of this movie. If he really wants to, he would.
We all don't have the option of becoming vampires, all right?
Like if he wants to hold it down, he will hold it down. So he's like, he did this for them. She's like, what the fuck? But she's, she holds it down as well and maintains his secret, like tells Vlad's men that he's going to do some reconnaissance on his own. Because obviously he can't be out during the day and the men don't know that. But then the Turks attack and one of Vlad's right-hand men is, killed while protecting Marina and their son, little Rickon. But they make it to the monastery. Other than that, Brother Lucian all of a sudden notices that Vlad is ducking and dodging the sunlight and is like, let me kill you, please, because you obviously haven't gone full vampire, but let me save your soul. Lucian tears into a fabric wall, to reveal Vlad's current state, and the people lose it, trying to kill it with fire. He survives, understandably, because there's still 35. Yeah, because there's still 35 minutes left in the movie at this point. You gotta survive that. And tells the people they're not loyal, they ain't shit, because they didn't survive, because they're just great fighters, but because he saved them for what he has done, what he's chosen to do for himself.
But the attack wouldn't have happened, period, if he hadn't killed all them soldiers in the first place.
This is true.
So they would have lost all their sons. So,
which they lost anyway, Matthew. They're all dead.
Well, OG Vampire did kind of warn him that was going to happen. Like, you're going to do this, and you're still going to lose everything. He told him that. And he didn't want to believe it. He's like, no, I'm going to use this power, and I'm going to get everything I want. And,
this is a costly ask of help. So as dawn approaches, Vlad realizes that his 3-day free trial of being a vampire is coming to an end, and they still have to stop the Turks from killing them all. Realizes all of a sudden that he can control Batch, which I thought, why didn't you realize this earlier, as you were literally turning into a cloud of bats?
Yeah, just because you can turn into something don't mean you can control all the other ones. Like, I guess if you didn't try, how would you know? Yeah.
I guess. But essentially, so once the Turks are getting closer, he uses the bats to kind of keep them away by doing hand motions and attacking them and shit, which was cool. And then I was like, this is wild, because the Turks are all blindfolded by the choice of the Sultan, because for whatever reason, he said, I will guide you guys. You don't need your eyesight. And I was like, they literally cannot see these bats coming.
Yeah, but he blindfolded them because he didn't want them to see all the dead bodies and shit that Vlad had already killed. So he was just like, if they don't see it, they won't be afraid. And it's like,
but he also didn't lead his men.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But it was also the fact that he was just like, yeah. But that was his thinking. Like, they were trained to move and work without being able to see already. So we moved them and marched them blindfolded so they don't see all the dead bodies and they don't panic and they just follow orders. Because these men weren't trained from children like Vlad was and his crew. So like they're thrown off by these things.
But yeah, so then Vlad sees the Sultan on his horse, but then he goes down to take him on himself, but then he realizes it's not Sultan Mehmed, it's someone else just wearing his armor, and that this was a trap. So another group could get to the monastery, kill mad people, and take the son either way.
This is another one of those weird timing things, because how'd you get in there so quick?
Facts.
When
must
did
have
this
taken
happen?
a separate route.
Like, when did you get there though? Because like it wasn't even like a lot of time did not appear to have gone by in this whole thing. So when did you get there? And why was this distraction even necessary if you got in there before that anyway? It's a whole, I don't know. Go ahead.
90-minute movie. Mm-hmm. So they come in, they take little Rick on, they kick Wifey to the edge of the monastery because, of course, like in horror movies, when they run upstairs from the killer, it's like, where are you going to go? She ran to an edge. She falls off and he gets up there just to watch her get the Gwen Stacy treatment. But somehow she still survives long enough.
Yeah, how she find that fall at all? How was she like breathing after she fell that far? I don't get it. She had to tell him to drink his blood. Drink her blood. I know.
Right.
It was necessary for the plot, but still.
Yeah. She somehow survives long enough to say that he can finish this if he feeds on her. She's like, I know this will turn you full vampire, but do it for our son.
Now that I no longer have to live with you as a vampire, fuck it.
So he does, and then Master Vampire gets to leave the cave. Vlad goes full vampire, and then just starts feeding his blood to whoever was still alive in the monastery, so that they could get their revenge. But he really just needs an army of people.
He just wants an army.
Yeah. He finds that he can control the weather. He blocks the sun so that they can all run out there, and him and his vampy army attack the Turk camp, finally showing his armor from his impaling days, which at first when he was alluding to the closet that it was in or the doorway it was behind, I thought there was some other weapon behind there from when he was the
Impaler. I figured it was the armor. Yeah.
And it was the armor. So now we're at the big battle, and realizing that Vlad is weak to silver, Mehmed has spread silver coins. I don't know.
Because that was another question I had was, how did Mehmed know about his weakness?
Yeah, because all people were telling him was that he had some kind of witchy power.
So how would he know it was vampire? And even if he did know it was vampire, how do you know all the lore? You ain't got mucks. How you know all this?
Unless Brother Lucian was down there telling him all about it, because that's the only one who I could think would be able to shed that knowledge and would know that he was vulnerable to silver. So yeah, he spread silver coins all over the floor, and at first all I could think was well, he's wearing shoes, so what is that going to do?
I guess it's the reflective light off of it or something. I don't know.
Something like that. I just kind of took it as being around it is like Clark Kent being close to kryptonite. You don't have to be touching him per se, but just being close proximity is sickening.
Radiating silver.
Yeah, they fight. Mehmed's kicking silver coins up at him from the floor, and he beats Mehmed because he kept taunting him, calling him Vlad the Impaler, and then he stakes Mehmed, and I was just like, that's ironic because this is not the vampire, and goes, my name is Dracula. So, and then that was the end of that fight. But then realizes all the people that he just gave vampire powers have gone savage, and they want to eat his son because he's the only one left with a pulse. Brother Lucian,
us against the rest of the humans is what they said.
Yeah.
And your son's a human. Yeah. He's not one of us. And then they turned on their leader again. The second time these same fucking people have turned against this man.
Oh yeah.
When he saved them. And
from a problem he caused.
True.
Still gotta remind you, he still started this.
But yeah, so Brother Lucian, pops through, fending off vampires with a cross, and says, "Let me take the boy. This is his only hope." And so Dracula lets him take little Rick on to save him, because of course this was his whole goal, was to save his son.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets rid of all the clouds, so they all bun up, including himself. Very selfless.
Except he didn't.
Right. Then he did it. He just collapsed to the floor. And then we saw that random...
How?
We saw that dog knot pulled him away into covering at some point and then feeds him blood to restore him. Rickon becomes the prince, and the Turks clearly never take over the other places in Europe that they were going to do. They just save that shit for the Nazis about 2 centuries later to try to do.
Yeah, I'm confused as to why he didn't just burn right up like all the rest of the vampires did.
Because he's Master Vampire number 2.
Sure. Okay. Again, it's for the plot. I get it. It's just...
So then we see modern day. Dracula's still walking around. He finds a woman who is actually a reincarnation of his wife, and her name is Mina. So we have to assume this is Mina Harker, which starts that whole what is it? That whole beef with Jonathan Harker and eventually Van Helsing. We see Tywin watching them, and then he follows them saying, "Let the games begin," which, tells us there was a sequel coming.
Dracula
And that was
Untold.
Yeah. Next time it's told. I get you. It should be. They never told us.
Nobody told anybody anything in this movie. Literally, it is untold because nobody told anybody shit. The OG vampire didn't tell Dracula shit about what he could do or what would hurt him. Like,
I'm a little disappointed that at no point did we get any. I guess maybe it could have happened in the sequel. I'm going to believe it would have happened in the sequel where somebody tried to poison him by giving him garlic bread.
Maybe in the modern sequel,
yeah, that's what I was saying. The sequel, because it's in modern time. Like somebody gave him garlic bread at some point.
When he would have, it probably would have been a gag. Like when he would eventually reveal to Mina that he was a vampire, she would have held up like a thing of garlic, just like, "Does this do anything to you?"
He couldn't find out the garlic thing is bullshit. It's just like, yeah.
Well, so the garlic thing with vampires, and there are like, what is that? One that just came out with the ballerina vampire. I'm blanking. Abigail. Where like I think they kind of talk about how the garlic thing is bullshit. Vampires don't eat food. Like you couldn't feed a vampire garlic because they don't eat bread or meat or anything that you would season. Like you would literally have to season yourself, your neck with garlic, and then have them bite down into it.
I wonder where that mythos came from.
Came from, you had to have seen the meme that vampires been treating people, have been telling people this so they would eat garlic and people would like think that they would be repelling the vampires, and really they're flavoring themselves for the vampires. The rumor spread by the vampires. They season in their food.
Like we're not gonna eat it. We just want y'all to eat good. So when we eat y'all a little yummier. But yeah, that was the movie. Who's winning?
What's Vlad's son's name? Rickon?
Anguirus.
Yeah, he's the only one that came out of this thing unscathed. Like,
no,
he's winning.
The only winner. Because he lost his mother and his father, so he's still not well. Like, I guess he became king, but like, so yeah,
Prince,
maybe. But
yeah.
OG Vampire is the only one that won. He got freed from his cave, let out into the world, and then got to like fucking play cuck to Dracula for years until it was time to enact his ultimate plan of revenge.
True.
But I don't get why there'd be revenge, because like, what did he do to you?
No, he's not. No, he said he would call on Vlad to assist him when he enacted his plan of revenge against whoever it was that tricked him into becoming a vampire in the first place. And that is the story that I wanted. Who hurt you? Who tricked you into selling your soul to the devil and turned you into a vampire and then banished you to a cave and locked you there? Like,
how were you? What was it? What was it in your process that made it so that you were stuck in this cave? And why wasn't Vlad stuck in that cave?
And I 100% guarantee it had to do with pussy. 100%.
Of course. We thought that Vlad did it because old dude was talking shit. He was scared that if he didn't fight back, he would never get no pussy. You are absolutely right.
I bet you OG Vampire was either set to marry someone that some other dude loved or was banging some other dude's wife or something, and that's why dude fucked him over, turned him into a vampire, and locked him in a cave to secure the pussy.
You're probably right. But yeah, who you say is winning, Mar?
I was going to say, I said Vlad and Master Vampire.
Okay.
Who's losing?
Everyone else.
But I was going to say all of Vlad's people because they got royally fucked over.
And all of the Turks.
Well, the Turks too, but the Turks kind of started the shit. So it was just like
You just said
It was
Vlad
kinda-
started the shit.
Vlad started the shit for them because he could have ended it very, very quickly, but he chose not to. Is what I mean by he started the shit. The Turks were part of that whole thing. Where I still say all the time in the immortal words of the great philosopher Lil Jon, "Don't start no shit, won't be no shit." So Turks kind of had it coming. Vlad's people didn't have it coming.
See, I had Vlad as a loser. He lost his wife. He lost his son. He lost all of his people, his castle, everything. He can't go out in the daylight anymore. He can't wear silver, which complements his skin. Like,
Yeah, gold's better. But he kind of got her back though. Like she reincarnated. She's back. He got another wife, you know.
Did you know the body count in this movie was apparently 5,687? Vlad killed 5,419.
Oh boy. Yeah. That's the thing. The way that this is kind of portrayed as, for Vlad to be the hero. Vlad is not a hero. Vlad is selfish. He is.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of I low-key feel like that's what the son was touching on towards the end. Like he said, like my father was a hero, but essentially no one's ever really gonna know that story, which is why Vlad the Impaler is still known as Vlad the Impaler.
I don't see, even with the events of this movie, I don't see him as a hero though. That's the thing. It's just like he started all this because they were going to take his son. And he like tried to say, like, I did it for all of you. No, you didn't. you did not.
This. You did this for your son, which is why
and not even. Go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say, and I think that's why the son thinks of it as my dad's a hero.
And the thing is, it wasn't even fully for his son. Like we talked about earlier, he was going to let it happen, but the dude kept talking shit.
He was like, you know what? My son's is not the key here. So, I would also second that Morena was losing since she had to fall to her death and then be eaten to fully die.
She asked for that though. And I know a lot of women out there that would prefer to be eaten to death.
Probably different ways.
We didn't specify which way
at all.
We just said eaten to death.
All right. How many dragons would you guys give it?
I'll give it 3.
I'm gonna go 2.5. I wish, I know it was very of its time, but I wish the fight scenes were better.
I get that. I gave it 3 as well.
I would have bumped it up if the fight scenes were a little better.
Yeah. Watching this, it felt very much like a 2014 movie. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it's a 2014 movie. I see what it is. I'll take it as it is. So,
yeah, I said 3 because clearly, I probably would have given it better, like maybe like 3.5, 4, if a sequel had ever really come to fruition. Fruition. Which would have given it more depth.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got.
I feel you. 3 out of 5 is not bad.
No.
Yeah. Well, folks, thank you all for watching and hanging out with us. Don't forget to follow us on all the socials, IG, TikTok, Twitter, all them good things. That is Creatia World. That is at ITSCREATIA World. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/Creatia World. And while you're there, you want to check out our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/them dragons. Also facebook.com/group/smacking raw. If you're a wrestling fan, you can find me on all the socials at Lord_Cusslot. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
Mara the Shark, all those same places. What are we watching next?
Shit, forgot. Matt, what are we watching next?
Mara, what year were you born?
92.
Oh, shit. Didn't work. 1991's horror comedy, Nothing But Trouble.
And where can we find this?
Tubi, and I actually had it pulled up here, and then I was looking at weather because there's a bad storm out. It's actually free on YouTube too, but Tubi, all the free streaming places.
Okay.
I forget that you can watch like full movies on YouTube.
Yeah. But just put it in the Slack and we'll check it out. But where can they find you?
You guys can follow me everywhere at Getting Off, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, all the places. And there is an interview up. I have to send Travis the information to post it, but if he remembers, on Sunday, an interview with Sean from Sean's Horror Corner should be up on the channel for you guys to enjoy. So come check that out.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right. We'll see you next week, and we will watch and review. What was it again?
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble. So watch it. Come talk about it with us next week. We'll see you then. Until then, we out.
Bye.